pop-up message.
Okay, got it.
Just hit the got it and you're all good.
And then once that starts, okay, so I've got that started. And I can see you all on YouTube now over here on my other screen. And I'm gonna hit the record button. Starts. Got that started. And I can see you all on YouTube now over here on my other screen.
Karen, there's an echo.
Yeah, it's because I'm working on it.
Okay.
Since we're live on YouTube, I'll go ahead and just do another real quick welcome. So it'll be on the YouTube channel. Welcome everyone to the presentation, the launch event for our new venue that we're going to have in March. Same dates that we had scheduled already, but we're all set with a new venue. And we hope you're having a wonderful afternoon and it will continue to be so. Hope you don't have the storms that knock you off and that you're able to stay on for the full presentation. So we're going to go over, Shauna is going to be going over the new venue. Nancy then will go over the classrooms and the workshops that we're going to have in March. And if you have any comments or questions, if you could please put those in the comments. We'll be monitoring those comments. We'll make sure those questions get in there. And we're going to go ahead and start and let Shauna show you our wonderful new venue. We're all excited about it and we hope you will be too.
Karen, am I good to go?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Hello, everyone. My name is Shauna Clark. I am our 2023 conference coordinator. So I am super excited to have all of you here with us today. I'm thrilled to be able to introduce our new location. I think it's going to be an amazing change for all of us. So with that being said, let me go ahead and get this presentation going. Karen, I need permission to share my screen, please.
You got it.
Thank you. Okay. All right. So as Alice said, we have the same dates that we've always had. It's the same weekend. So this is our 2023 conference for March 16th through 19th. And just a brief bit of information about why we have an exciting new location. Lake Yale has recently had some changes. They are under new management, and sort of the purpose of their change in management is that they needed to increase revenue for their location. What that means for us is that they have had a change in their procedures, and we told them that we could potentially have up to 130 attendees, and they gave us a minimum of 150. And then when they told us, I explained that that was not necessarily something that we would be able to achieve. They said, well, if you don't make that minimum, then we reserve the right to remove some of the meeting space that we had granted you for your event. So knowing that we were going and asking for less and them giving us a higher minimum meant that that was not a great place for us to start our conference. They also said that we just take up too much meeting space given the small size of our group. And they also did have another organization that they gave access to some of the rooms that we always have used in the past. So altogether, this pretty much gave us a situation that made it untenable for us to be able to meet at Lake Yale again this coming year. So that gave us an opportunity to go out and do some looking for a facility that might work better for us. And that is our new venue, which is the Wyndham Orlando Resort and Conference Center Celebration. I know that our wonderful communications VP sent out an email with the address. It's actually located in Kissimmee, even though it says Celebration, but it's right off 192, but it's tucked back into a little side street. So it's a really good location for us overall. It does back onto Disney property, but it's the back side of Disney property. In fact, the driveway to get into this lovely drop-off area is the driveway into our Disney Audition Center. And I say our because I am a Disney cast member, so it's always ours. So this is the front of the property. This is the overall property map. The entire hotel was completely remodeled in 2020 when everything sort of shut down. So it is sparkling and new. You see that there are two main sort of sleeping room areas. We will have most everything that we do that is a scheduled function. Actually, everything that we do that's a scheduled function is going to be over. You see where the big red circle oval is. Our meeting rooms are all in the upper convention area, and then all of our sleeping rooms are going to be in this north tower. So you can literally come down the elevator, pop out, turn to your right, and that is our meeting space. So it's all inside, which if we have poor weather or it is unseasonably warm, which as we know in Florida can be the case for no reason, everything is right here. So it's very close and easy access. So just to share some of the gorgeous new photos. As I said, it was completely redone in 2020. So I'm sorry, this is the lobby area, very, very light, just a lot of windows and open to everything. They have a brand new refurbished exercise room, and everyone will have access to that should you want to get up super early and do whatever you'd like to do. Then they have this lovely main pool area. It also has a pool bar for any who might be so inclined to find such a thing. That would be me at times, so we'll see. They also over here have this Top Golf Suite. It is well, it's a virtual game suite where you can play a number of different games. So it's not just golf. They also have dodgeball and baseball and all other sorts of activities. And we do get, as part of our stay, 2 games per night per person. So if we have a break, lunchtime or in the evening or whatever, and you want to go play, you absolutely will have the opportunity to do that. So that's another little fun recreation thing. So the nice thing about this is while we will be including some meals with your on-site stay, as always, we have some other options for food. There is a Starbucks, fully staffed. Yay, Starbucks. I was very excited about that because anyone who knows me knows that caffeine is my friend. So the Starbucks is right there on site. They have, as I said, a bar that's fully appointed. We do get some, again, like drink coupon discount type things as part of each night of our stay that comes in your package. And then they do have options for breakfast. They have a full service buffet breakfast if you were staying before or after or wanted to partake of that. They also have an on-site Pizza Hut Express. So you can grab a quick bite late in the evening if you're hungry or however that works. So that was really nice that those are available and on-site for us. So talking about our meeting space. One of the things that we shared or that I spoke to when I started looking for a location is that we didn't want to be a small group amongst a large conference of other people or other large conferences. We know that we have like our 130, 150, however many people that we have, but we didn't want to get lost in the midst of a bunch of other very large business groups or anything of that nature. And this location responded to that by contracting 100% of their meeting conference space to us for our use. So we will be the only event that will be taking place in this facility on these dates. So this is a map, and you see that this is the main ballroom area here in the big gray. One of the beautiful things about having a full service facility is that we will be able to have all of our meals in our own private dining area. And you see it's labeled here on the map. It also will be where we have our evening assemblies. So all of that's going to be just in the one space. We have a dedicated vendor hall for the first time, and we'll also be placing the fiber exhibit in there as well. So we'll have plenty of opportunity to take advantage of our amazing vendors. And it gives us some additional ability to have more day guests given the location who might like to just come and hang out and shop. That's definitely an option for us. You see there's a number of other meeting areas. Those are going to be subdivided with pipe and drape. I'm sure you've all seen it. It's just the big large curtains that will be dividing the space. And so the salon C, D, and E for the main ballroom, and then the sawgrass room are all going to be subdivided. So we have plenty of room here to accommodate all of our existing workshops. And one of the beautiful things about it is that given the size of the classrooms at Lake Yale in the past, some of our instructors have said that they can accommodate X number of students in their class, let's say 20. And because of the space that we had, we were only able to accept 10. But now we can actually fit all of the people that the instructor is willing to take, which is going to give us additional opportunities to enjoy the amazing presentations of our instructors. So this is just a little bit of a map to show everything. There is a dedicated entrance to this conference space. And one of the things that I love about the property, there's tons of parking. So that will make it easy for us to have access, even if we have day guests who come in. And then this side area where you see where it says pre-function just has a ton of couches and tables and small areas where we can group together and just spend time with one another, which is one of the beauties of the conference. So this is a photo of the main ballroom space, and you can kind of look at the tracks in the ceilings and see how it's broken out. The lighting is fantastic. We have tons of space in here. We're really going to be able to accommodate all of our workshops and have plenty of working space. I've been told that there were occasionally some elbows in the way in some of the smaller classes with the larger equipment, so that will not be an issue for us. This is two of the other meeting rooms, and you see the lighting is fantastic. So I think that that's really going to work well for all of us who may need a little bit of extra lighting. I say with my first pair of progressive glasses. So that would be me. So all of the rooms have sort of this really bright environment, which is one of the benefits of just having the facility redone. So talking about rooms, I've heard some things about Lake Yale's rooms, and all I can tell you is that the rooms here are gorgeous. Again, recently remodeled. This is a photo of their standard 2 queen bedroom. They also have a single king bedroom. So the restrooms are nicely appointed, and all of the rooms have a refrigerator, which I told was very exciting. So it's a mini fridge with a freezer compartment. And it was, when I stuck my hand in to take pictures, it was nice and cold. So you'll be able to keep, I don't know about anybody else, but like I like to have milk in my room. So you'll be able to keep whatever soft drinks or whatnot that you'd like to have in there. And I have a brief photo tour just to show a couple of the spaces, and I apologize, it moves really fast. So this is the main entrance. I wanted to show you guys specifically the food area. So this is the bar and seating, and then when you spin it around, there's that Pizza Hut Express. One of the things that I absolutely loved about this facility is they have a and I do mean a full gift shop. They had everything imaginable in here. It was just packed to the gills. So there's a full section over here of, snacks. And over here in the very back, you'll see there's, any of those things that you might have forgotten, or you need Tylenol or anything like that. They have all those sundries available, which I thought was really convenient because sometimes, heaven knows we are able to go somewhere without forgetting things. So this is the pre-function area that I mentioned. There's a hallway down over here that has tons of seating. These are the entrance doors to the conference area. And then this is the ballroom. So this space in that far corner in the back will be where we have our meals. This front area is the vendor hall. So you see there's plenty of space. And then this side area will be divided into 3 large rooms and then further subdivided into 2 workshop spaces. This is one of the meeting rooms. So again, plenty of lighting and room. Actually, this is the room that we'll be using for Tom Nisley's class. So there will be lots of space to enjoy. This is another one of the meeting spaces. So you'll see they're well appointed. We have plenty of electrical outlets and anything else. If you do need to charge a phone or bring anything in, you will have the ability to do that. And I also wanted to mention, I talked about the seating, and I love that they've taken most of the seating options out, but you see that this whole corridor is filled just with benches and chairs and things like that. So plenty of room to sit and relax. And then through these double doors are the elevators that go up to rooms. So they are very close. This is just a standard queen room space. And obviously the restroom is here, all brand new, fresh, clean, sparkling. And for anyone who is interested in a king, some of the kings also come with a couch as well. So you have a little extra space if you want to work in your room, but just very well appointed. And that is pretty much all I have there. So do we have any questions?
I have been answering questions in chat, but I think we'll go through them just so they're on the recording.
Mhm.
The first question was, is parking free?
The property does typically have a resort fee that would cover parking, but as the board will tell you, I don't pay for parking when I do any sort of negotiating for an event. So I negotiated parking out of that fee. So there will be no charge for parking.
And that includes for day trippers.
Correct. There is no charge for day guests at all for parking, and we will not be charged for any parking fees as attendees staying overnight. I don't pay for parking, not an option.
Someone asked if there's restrooms in the conference area, which I did say yes, that there are, but do you want to show the map and show where they are?
I would be happy to do that. One of the things that we did, Karen, Nancy, and I did a walkthrough of the facility before we agreed to a contract or anything else. And one of the things that we did was poke our heads into the restrooms and make sure that they are they're very well appointed, and there are several stalls. And Nancy said that they were larger than what we had access to at Lake Yale. So you'll see here, looking at the meeting space map, the restrooms are in the upper left-hand corner. And that's right outside, you see, out of the main meeting area. So there's more actually. If you go back, let me get back to the main map. So there are additional restrooms right outside of the hallway for the tower meeting room. So when you come out of the elevator and you turn to the right, you pass a set of restrooms. And then once you go through those double doors into our meeting space, there's a large set up in that corner. So did that give everybody an idea of where those are?
Yeah, while you have this map up,
Sure.
I just wanted to point out the blue meeting rooms in the front there,
Yes.
although they show as connected, that's a service corridor that we don't have access to. So to get into the main conference center, if you're in one of those conference rooms, you will go and take the loop around past the elevator and go around into
Yes.
the conference center.
So sort of where this little red line is that says emergency exit and loops around, you would have to go out and around and back up the hallway over to the main area. It's still not far. And it is all indoors. So
The next question was whether or not there's free Wi-Fi.
There is free Wi-Fi in the rooms and the main areas of the hotel. There is not in the meeting spaces. They did want to charge us for that. And with data these days, I thought it was more important to focus on other things. So you will have to use data when you're in the actual workshops in the conference facility, but in your room or in the main areas of the hotel, you do have access to Wi-Fi at no charge.
And that's important also to vendors to know if you're
Yes.
if you're taking electronic payment, you've got a plan for that. We
will have additional options for vendors. I am working on that.
The next question is, what is the meal plan? We haven't talked about meals yet.
Oh, that's true. We have not. We are still in the process of negotiating our menu options. Obviously, it's not a cafeteria like we've had at Lake Yale. We will have a defined menu for our various meals. So we haven't worked out all of the details right now. That is something that we are looking to figure out and confirm at our next board meeting, which is at the end of July. And we will have more details about that after that. So I'll be able to share more about pricing and meals at that point. Is that fair?
Best we can do.
Yes.
Oh, Ellen, no ice cream for lunch. Don't worry.
I will let you know
on it.
That I have already asked about the day when we traditionally have our floats, and I am making sure that that is still going to be an option for us. That was high on my list of priorities. So ice cream is a yes. More details about meals are coming.
Is there an in-room safe? I thought
Yes.
there was. Yeah.
Yes, there is. And it is large enough to hold a laptop. I always laugh when they say that because I have a 17-inch laptop and no safe that I found is large enough to hold my laptop, but a traditional laptop, you should be all good. But yes, there is a safe. Fully appointed. The rooms are actually beautifully done.
The next question was about whether day trippers will pay for entrance, and I'll address this one a little bit. I'm going to address this in a larger fashion than just specifically that question. And just to talk about registration in general, we just signed this contract with the hotel on June 3. And as you just heard Shauna say, we're still working on figuring out the food options. So we're still figuring out registration packages. We are going to do packages like at Lake Yale so that we are handling, even though this is going to be at a hotel, we are handling the registration process and names and roommates and all of that, just like we did when we were at Lake Yale. So the registration process is going to look similar to you, that we will have 2, 3, 4 night packages. A couple of things that Shauna didn't mention about that.
I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay, then I won't jump the gun. But day trippers, there will be a fee for day trippers, and for a couple of reasons. One of which is they're going to have access to things like snacks and coffee and whatnot. But yes, there will be a fee for day trippers. But because we haven't figured out the food yet, we haven't figured out the exact packages yet. We will still be doing stay and play also. And we may put together some different kinds of packages than we have in the past. Like a one night package, if you just wanted to come for minis and stay for one night or something like that. So we're working on those details. And we probably won't have that information until at least the end of July, probably sometime in August.
Yes. So having said that, we are doing, as Karen said, packages. We are managing the registration process entirely for the hotel through our registration process. So one of the things that is a requirement when you are ready to register, you will need to have the name of the person that you are planning to share with at the time of registration. So we recommend that you start having those conversations now. And if you know, let's say that you want to share with just one other person, you both need to be able to name each other as part of registration. Same thing if you're staying with, the rooms do accommodate up to 4. So if you are going to have a quad room, we need everybody's name when you register. It is not something that you can add in later. And Karen, I'm sure will be able to work with that a little bit, but we just wanted to share that with you now so that you can start thinking about that. Talk to your friends and figure out how you want to do that. And it'll just be like a really big giant slumber party, like all the time. So we can have a big giant slumber party. Speaking of parties, Karen and I will be hosting the after hours lounge in our parlor. So there will be availability to come and hang out and just spend some off time together after our evening activities. We're looking to keep as many of the things that you guys have done throughout the years. And Sarah, I will address that question here in just a moment. So we're going to have our evening activities with our fashion shows and our presentations and so on and so forth. We're working very hard to make sure that all of the things that you love about the conference are still part of your experience. It's just going to be in a much nicer location. So woohoo. So yes, there was a question as to whether or not husbands are able to come as a hotel guest and share the room, but not necessarily participate in the conference. We are planning a registration contingency for that as well. That is definitely an option. I will share that I know most of us are from Florida, so we know when we have spring break here, and spring break is the last 2 weeks of March, and we are staying at a hotel that is off of Disney property during spring break. One of the beauties of this particular property, as I had shown, is that the rooms that we are staying in are right next to the conference center. So we're going to be centered in an area where there are less likely to be families. However, should you have family and you want to come, one of the beauties of this location is that we have extended the room rates 3 days prior to our conference and 3 days after. So if you want to bring the family and do an extra little mini like trip to area locations or Disney or whatever, you can do that and you'll get the discounted rate that we have as part of the conference. The hotel, if you do bring the family, if you want to play, and I'll answer that in a second, Ruth, like at our conference and attend your workshop and you want the rest of the family to be able to go off and play at area attractions, there are shuttles to all of the main parks, so SeaWorld, Disney, Universal, plus the local outlets. So if you have someone who wants to come and maybe doesn't want to do a workshop, but wants to do a little outlet shopping, that will be available as well. We have not mentioned any of the room rates yet because that is tied into the food and how we'll be handling all of that. So we'll have more information for that. I would say in August. We'll get that to you as quickly as possible. And Ruth asked if there was an area for dyeing workshops, and yes, there is. There is an outdoor area that will be able to accommodate, and this is the only part of the conference. let me show you this. This is the only part of the conference that won't be in the main section. So the pool deck area you see here has the 4 little dark blue meeting rooms. There's a space just outside of that is actually outside that will have tented to be able to do a dye-in workshop. We will also be able to accommodate the basket weaving workshops as well. So we've already had that discussion with the facility, so they are aware of our needs. I will tell you, I am an event planner by profession. So when I went out looking for a facility, I approached this from the standpoint that I do any sort of an event that I'm planning professionally. And I gave them a list of our needs, and they responded beautifully. They came back and they really are working hard to accommodate everything that we need or want in our conference. So that's why we're so very excited, because whereas Lake Yale was throwing up a lot of barriers to what we needed, the Wyndham has really worked hard to accommodate all of that. So we are aware, they are aware of our needs in terms of like our menus and such, and they are working with us to plan specialty menus to accommodate. And we are trying to do everything that we can to make this not a huge impact in terms of cost. So I know that you're concerned about, I know that you are concerned about price, and we are too. It's high on my list of things that I am negotiating to keep as low as possible. So I know that it's not super great that we don't have pricing for you today, but the hotel is working with us to try to get everything so that we will have set pricing after our budget meeting at the end of July. Yes, Karen, I will. And Pam asked if we're trying to make this a permanent location for the future. I don't like to use the word permanent. I know that we were like at Lake Yale forever, so that felt kind of permanent. I will say that this will be our location for the next 3 years. Part of the negotiating that we did for this property was for a 3-year period. So we'll be here through 2025, and we will assess. We went into the contracts for 2024 and 2025 with the understanding that this is a new, different world for us, and we will be adjusting those contracts as appropriate based after the results that we get for 2023. So I will let Nancy talk about wood turning when she starts to talk about workshops. One other thing I did want to note about the property is that it is pet friendly. There is a $25 per day fee, and they allow pets up to 25 pounds. So if you cannot be parted with your little guy, little girl, you can bring them with you. I will not be bringing my my annoying little brat, little brat dog, because he's annoying little brat dog. But that is an option should you wish to do so. And they seem very pet friendly. Like the general manager came out and showed us the picture of his dog. And he also had done a lot of research into our organization and walked out and said, okay, so who's going to show me how to use the shuttle? So like he was prepared for us. And then Pam asked if pricing is based on double occupancy. Single double is the same price. Obviously, if you have double occupancy, you will be splitting that cost with your roommate, but you can book a single room if you'd like. And we will have all of our packages based on single, double, triple, quad, so that you guys can pick whatever works best for you. So any other questions? Oh, we seem the number of rooms. Okay. Karen also wanted me to mention that the property has 443 sleeping rooms. So we have plenty of space here. All of our rooms accommodate plenty of space. If we have guests who, like we said, single day packages, if you just want to come in and do minis and shopping the next day and maybe stay for a dinner presentation or anything of that nature, we have plenty of room. There's also not the issue with accessibility here that we might have had at Lake Yale. The facility has fully ADA compliant accessible rooms. So we have rooms that have the full complement of roll-in showers, lower beds, higher commodes. They also can accommodate guests with hearing accessibility challenges and visual accessibility challenges. So you don't have to have a first floor room here to be able to have access because we have elevators. And there's also an abundance of these rooms. So it's not like there's only one per building. We will be able to accommodate anybody who has those types of challenges or needs that additional facility. In terms of menus, I've already given them the full complement of special diets that we might have access or need access for. So right now we're looking at vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, gluten and sugar-free, pepper allergies, strawberry allergies, mushroom allergies, and they are happy to accommodate every single one of those. So if you do have a dietary concern, we just need to know about it and we will be able to accommodate it. As I say, they are being incredibly accommodating and working very well with us. So I really think this is a good spot for us. Okay, so any other questions? I want to let Nancy talk about the workshops because they're really, really interesting and really exciting. You guys are going to love these. So if you think of any other questions, we can definitely try to answer them. So thank you, Sarah. We worked really hard to try to get the best spot possible for our new home. So if I'm done, I don't have to talk at y'all anymore. So we'll let Nancy talk about the good stuff.
Okay, so my turn. Let me share my screen. Okay, and now let me get this down here so I can press play. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the workshops that we have next year. And what we're going to start out with is, now I have everything on my screen, so I can hardly see anything. So let me see. If you, can everybody else see everything?
Yes, we can see your double weave overshot is what you're doing. Right?
Okay, very good. So double weave overshot, complementary plain weave, with the instructor of Tom Nicely, who is our artist in residence. Complementary plain weave is a fascinating threading system that allows you to take any of your favorite overshot patterns and weave them as if they were double weave. This is particularly helpful because it weaves a plain weave surface without the typical weft floats associated with traditional overshot. The fabric is totally reversible and can weave with different color definitions on each side. You can also change out the treadling order to create your own patterns. And as Tom says, how cool is that? This is for it's for 4-shaft looms, and the skill level is intermediate. Next, we have the art of mixing color and fiber in deflected double weave with Natalie Drummond. Do you enjoy mixing color and fiber? Learn how color and fiber sheen interact in deflected double weave with Tencel, Tussa silk, and or cotton. You must be able to set up your own loom and ahead of time, and you must be able to weave with 2 shuttles for this particular workshop. It's for both 4 and 8 shaft looms. Introduction to Sprang, and I hope everybody got to see Carol give her presentation at the annual meeting. But Sprang is a very adaptable technique to create stretch cloth and appears repeatedly in human history from the Bronze Age onward. Learn the basic stitch and then see how it can be shaped to create diverse garments. This level that she will be teaching is beginning. We have Introduction to Summer and Weave with Berna Lowenstein. Summer and winter is the perfect weave structure for the beginning weaver who already knows how to warp and weave plain weave or twill and wants to learn a more elaborate weave structure that is easy to understand. Intermediate and advanced weavers will also learn about different treadling techniques, different drafting techniques and draw-ups, and weave structure variations that require different threadings. The skill level on this one is beginning, intermediate, and advanced, and that's with 4-shaft looms. We have beginning rigid heddle weaving with Barbara Pietruk. This is a beginning class, and you will warp the rigid heddle loom and learn some tips and tricks for creating a smooth weaving experience. More advanced weavers can also try a few pickup techniques and hand manipulated lace techniques. Again, this is a beginner's weaving class. Inkle band weaving basics and beyond with Jennifer Williams. The inkle loom is a small loom with a big impact. Discover the joy of weaving simple or elaborate narrow bands that have an infinite number of uses on this portable little loom. The workshop will cover both plain weave and various pickup techniques. You will learn how to efficiently warp an inkle loom, how to read and weave inkle pattern drafts, and how to plan and design beautiful inkle designs. This is for beginning and intermediate inkle weavers. Next, for tapestry, we have a Next Step in Tapestry by M.J. Lord. After you have taken a beginning tapestry class, what's the next step? This is often the sticking point for new tapestry weavers. There are many possibilities, and this class will offer one approach. We will start by looking through images of creatures, for example, birds and butterflies, looking for pattern and color ideas. The class will not be trying for photorealism, but come up with an abstract design using the color and pattern ideas. We will use those ideas to develop a cartoon to weave a small tapestry of about 7 by 7. The skill level on this is intermediate. Let's spin yarns for Florida with Ginger Clark. Florida is hot and not conducive to woolen yarns for most of the year, but there are so many other non-wool fibers to spin. In this class, students will explore spinning plant-based fibers such as bamboo, tinsel, hemp, flax, cotton, as well as silk and faux cashmere. We will discuss the best uses of these different fibers and learn tricks to make the spinning experience a happy one. The skill level on this for this workshop is intermediate and advanced. Random weave basketry with Nancy Bindig. An introduction to random weave basketry construction, which lets you work with a variety of materials to make an organic and free-form shape. Once the framework is established, the simple tabby weave makes this a very relaxing craft activity. We would start with a small, simple project like a woven ball that can be continued after class to build an orb for the garden and make either a wall pocket or a nest. The wall pockets and nest each take about 3 or 4 hours to complete, so you'll be able to go home with a number of items. The skill level for this workshop is beginning and intermediate. Then we have hooking outside the wool box, alternative fibers in rug hooking, mixed media landscapes with Karen Dunkley. Be brave in your rug hooking. Let's jump outside the wool box and use alternative fibers. This class will be a study of mixed media and how to incorporate fibers other than wool strips into our rug hooking, such as velvet, sari ribbons, wool roving, silk, novelty yarns, art yarns, ribbons, mohair locks, and more will be used. You will learn how to hook the various materials and how to combine different fibers to create even more texture. The skill level for this workshop is intermediate. Then we have fabric collage with Becky Kobos. Have fun creating fabric collages. Excuse me. Have fun creating fabric collages in a 5x7 format and in larger frameable pieces. Using fabric, wonder under, and an iron, let your imagination run wild. Images may be realistic, whimsical, or abstract. Let the color and pattern of your fabric be your guide. Try free motion stitching over the collages to add details. And this class is a beginner. So the next, to answer the question about wood turning, as we were looking for a new venue, we tried to find some place that we could have wood turning, but unfortunately, we won't be able to do that next year. Some of the issues were that we couldn't secure his equipment overnight outside, and that we wouldn't be able, and because those of you who have taken wood turning also know that it creates a lot of noise. And so unfortunately, I apologize, but we cannot have wood turning. I understand from people who have taken wood turning with Dan in the past that he actually does teach you this at home. And so if you want to take a class and not wait until we could possibly have him in the future, Peggy, who is now our new VP of programs, has the contact information for him so that you could learn in his studio. Thank you. That's all I have for now. I guess there are questions or
there aren't any.
Let me stop sharing screen unless some of the questions want to go back to some of the pictures.
So far, we don't have any workshop questions in the chat. Did anybody have any questions?
Okay.
I wish I had time to take one. They all look really cool.
Do we
Yeah.
have minis lined up yet?
Not yet. That is my job right now, and they will be ready for when the website. We do the website updates in September, Karen. Is that right?
Yes, the website, all of the information. Well, we are putting information on the website as we have it to put there. So all of the workshop information is already on the website. But yes, so September 15 is when we will have all of the final information for conference will be available on the website. Some of it will be available sooner. I think we should take this opportunity.
Ruth, I did make sure that the facility has space available for us to have a dye workshop. We have not yet booked a dye workshop. I know that Peggy would have loved to be with us, but she's teaching for Convergence and is all aflutter in preparing for her workshop there. So we'll share information about a dye workshop if and when we're able to book that. We're not there yet, but we have space for it. So we just have to find someone.
Mm-hmm.
I think in responding to the question about whether or not we have minis lined up, we should perhaps talk about the conference coordinator-elect position.
We should.
Yes.
Alice.
We do need a conference coordinator-elect. So if anyone is interested, what you would be doing is you would be working with Shauna, preparing for and setting up mini classes, and she will be helping you with that. And then you'll be working alongside of her, which means the next year, which is in 2024, you would then be conference coordinator. So we do need somebody for that. And so if you or anybody you know is available to be conference coordinator elect this year, we need you as soon as possible. So if you do, you can also put in comments if you're interested, number one. Number two, you can email me, or you can go on the website and leave a message, or however you'd like to do it. But we are needing someone. So please consider. It's a fun job. It really is. It's going to be a fun job. Shauna's great to work with. And so I think that you will find it a valuable experience.
And I obviously completed my role as conference coordinator elect last year. And vendors and minis, and then are the two main things. And I already have all of that stuff set up and easy to go and do. So if you're interested, I can ease you in real easy. I got you set up.
All right. Is there anything else that you guys can think of?
I was thinking about the response to single versus double. And when Shauna said the room rate is the same, that's true. When we put together the packages though, we are going to put together per person packages. So when you do see the pricing, the double occupancy price that you'll see and the triple and the quadruple, those are going to be per person numbers, just like you saw at Lake Yale. So in order to make the registration process as familiar as possible.
Great. Yes. Any questions about the venue or the workshops? All right. Thank you for the presentation, Shauna. It was awesome. And also the presentation from Nancy. I'm seeing something come up. I didn't see what it said. Did you guys see that?
When does the reservation open for workshops?
Registration will open on November 1st if you are an FTWG member. Actually, I need to look at a calendar. It's the Sunday before that. I think it might be October 30. And then 2 weeks later for anybody who is not an FTWG member. And you do have to be an FTWG member by October 15 in order to be eligible to register early. So if you're not a member, you can sign up on our website.
So yes, October 30 is the Sunday before. So October 30, and then was that November 15th?
Yeah, it will.
13th.
Well, 2 weeks later, I think it's the 13th.
13th.
Because
Okay.
it's also a Sunday.
Okay.
Erin,
Yes,
can we pay for membership online?
yes, you can.
Okay.
Any other questions? Let's see.
Is space for additional vendors should they wish to come. We are still working out the vendor hall layout. We are trying to maximize the number of booth spaces that we have available. Should you have questions about vending and you are not one of our current vendors, you can message us through the website. Or I don't know if my email is on the website, but if you just want to drop a contact us, that will come to me for now, and I will be happy to have a conversation about that.
Okie doke. Sounds like we're set. And everybody, thank you for being here. We're excited. We hope you are too. And we look forward to seeing you in March.